Today, I'm going to teach you how to spot an investment opportunity. This is Kyle with Fundamentals of Finance, and of course, I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel where I'll be regularly sharing some of the opportunities that I see, but the real goal of this channel is to teach you how to invest so you can spot these ideas for yourself. Investing is full of gray areas, and there are no magical scientific formulas that will get it right every time or tell you exactly what will happen in the future. It's not physics, it's not chemistry, no matter how badly economists want it to be. More difficult formulas don't necessarily lead to better investment decisions, and often they just overcomplicate things for no reason. Well, maybe it is for a reason, to take your money one way or the other. If you've ever read the Financial Analyst Journal, they seem to have the ability to take the simplest concepts and make them super difficult. Like you spend an hour getting your head around a super complicated formula, only to find out they're just teaching you how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. On this channel, I prefer to do the opposite. As much as I can, I want to make difficult concepts easier for you to understand. So when it comes to spotting an investment opportunity, there's no scientific formula. You really only need one basic thing: a differentiated insight about something you think is gonna happen. You wanna know what the most important part of this is? The word differentiated. Why? Because the stock market is forward-looking. If an investor thinks a company is about to make a lot more profits next year, they're gonna buy it now, so they can take part in those increased profits. If an investor thinks a company is going to go bankrupt next month, they're gonna sell it now while they still can and get some value for it. So at any given time, stock prices already reflect everyone's collective expectations. That means if you think a recession is coming, real original, but CNBC, Bloomberg, the newspaper, and everyone on social media is also saying a recession is coming, it's probably already priced in to the market. You may be right that a recession is coming, but you can't profit off that insight because it's already reflected in current market prices. What you need is a differentiated insight, something that is not priced in, something that you think will happen, but most other people don't realize yet. And no, I don't mean insider trading. Don't do that. You will be caught and you will go to prison. Here's an example of what I mean by a differentiated insight. All right, so let's say in 2021 you thought, all this extra stimulus spending is probably gonna lead to higher inflation, and higher inflation is probably gonna lead to higher rates. Well, then it would have been smart to get out of high growth stocks that would suffer in a high rate environment. In mid-2021, that was not a widely held view yet. Most people thought inflation would be transitory, meaning it wasn't gonna stay high for very long. So if you'd had the differentiated insight that inflation and rates would go higher, you could have avoided some major losses in 2022. Of course, it's easy to say things like that in hindsight, and that's a challenge with investing, that the future is uncertain. But one place you can get an advantage that will help you spot these kinds of opportunities before everyone else does is to ask yourself, what will the market be focusing on in 6 months or 1 year from now? Many investors are very short-term focused, and they often zone in on one thing that drives market movements for a period of time. Right now, that's inflation and interest rates, inflation and interest rates, inflation and interest rates. But eventually, it will be something else. If you can look further out than most investors, you can sometimes spot obvious opportunities that most of them are missing, and thus that are not yet priced into the market, AKA you've spotted an investment opportunity. Looking forward, I see many. There's no guarantee they'll all be right, but here are a few brief examples of the thought process in action. The green energy transition, which I made a video on, is going to drive massive demand for certain metals like lithium and copper, and the supply out there is not nearly enough to meet the projected demand. Couple that with the fact that China, the biggest consumer of a lot of these metals and others like iron ore, is reopening, and you've got yourself an interesting case for a materials ETF like MXI. It would have been way more interesting a couple months ago before it recovered a lot, but hey, we're probably heading into a global recession, so it could fall again. Either way, when the market starts thinking about recovery instead of recession, it could be good for the producers of the materials that will be in short supply. A similar case can be made for industrials, which will also be beneficiaries of the green energy transition and tend to do well in market recoveries. That makes an interesting case for an ETF like EXI. Similar to the materials ETF MXI, it would have been more interesting before it recovered a lot over the past few minutes. But I just gotta tell you, I did mention it in my Industrial Revolution video before that happened. So now might be a good time to hit that subscribe button. Wink, wink. I'll be sure to keep bringing you insights like that on this channel, but hopefully this video, along with the other videos I've done about investing to teach you how it all works, will help make you a better investor so you can spot these opportunities for yourself. Remember, think long-term. Ask yourself what the market will be focusing on in 6 months or a year and see what comes to mind. And hey, maybe one day you'll be finding great ideas and sharing them with me. By the way, I started this channel to help Americans learn how the professionals invest. If you want to take your investing knowledge to the next level, check out the link below called the 9 Habits You Need to Be a Successful Investor. The link is in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.